enough. You are enough. Excellent to navigating the overcoming uniqueness of growth and healing. You are enough. There is power in you. You are enough. Are you ready to use the power that's inside of you? You are enough. Today you know you was always enough. Yes. We had a moment when we didn't have the confidence to be as bold and secure that we are now. You are enough. Yes, we had moments when we settled for that relationship that we weren't supposed to be in because it was toxic or not. Hello. Thank you for tuning in to The Power in Your Voice. And today we have the amazing Miss Kellie's in the building. How are you?
I am doing well. Loving my weather here in Columbia, like we just discussed.
Absolutely. So can you tell the people who you are and what you do?
Yes. Okay. So my name is Kellie Rymes. You may see me on social media as Miss Kellie Michelle or the Bougie Baldie, but I am a women's hair loss support and authenticity coach. And now I can add TV producer to my title.
Yes. Today we are here to talk about the premiere. So tell me. Okay, so how did the name come about and what inspired you to start the TV show?
Okay, so the name really stemmed from my podcast because the name of my podcast is the Bougie Baldie Podcast. And that's how I started, just getting myself out there, connecting with people, interviewing people who are in the hair loss space, whether they have experienced hair loss themselves or they have a business that supports people or women with hair loss in particular, because that's normally who I serve, women with hair loss. So the show is stemmed based off of the podcast. So I just kept the same theme. You know, we got to do our branding. So I kept the same name. And instead of the Bougie Baldie Podcast, the extension is the Bougie Baldie Show.
Nice. So tell me, are you doing it by yourself? Do you have partners? How did it all come together?
Well, I did it by myself as far as producing it, creating it, all of the things that went into the project. I did that myself, but I do have lovely guests that participated on the show. They contributed with their knowledge, their information. So I have to give them a shout out as well, because without them, I would not have been able to put this show on.
Absolutely. So who are we shouting out? And also, when does it premiere?
So we are shouting out a few people. So first we have Samantha Traylor. She actually has her own episode on the show because she has a speaking business. Basically, she's a woman who actually chose to cut her hair off due to health reasons. And from that, she has created a speaking business, which part of it is Toastmasters. I don't know if anybody's aware of Toastmasters, but it's pretty popular. But she has a new Toastmasters club called Bald Confidence, and that is to give people who have hair loss, anybody, women, men, whomever, a voice, just basically helping them use their voice, helping them be confident in saying whatever it is they want to say. Now, not that they have to be public speakers through Toastmasters, but it's just for them to gain that confidence to speak. And then the other part of that is she has created her own speaking business, and she has a program called ABCs to Serenity. And she talks all about that on the show and what the program is all about. So that is one of my guests. Then I have other guests who are a part of the panel that is a part of the show. One is the 2025 Bald and Beautiful pageant beauty queen. Her name is Denisha Griffith. She's also from New York. And we also have Ebony Pearson. She is from New York as well. We have Dr. Corliss Bennett. She's from California. Samantha also participates on the panel, and then myself. So we are all on the panel sharing real stories, providing advice, encouragement, and just helping uplift other women who have experienced hair loss. Now, all of the women on the show have chosen to be bald, as far as just saying, hey, I'm not wearing a wig, I'm not covering it up, I'm just gonna cut it off, and they rocking baldies just like me. So that is the special thing about the show, because not a lot of women choose to go that route, but when they do choose to go that route and show that confidence, it just takes them to a whole nother level.
I love it. I am so excited. So premiere date, how can they catch it? And tell us like the mission of what you want them to receive from it.
Yes. Okay, so it premieres on December 3rd, and I am inviting everyone to the premiere because it's a virtual premiere. Okay, so all you have to do is just hop online. Think of it as a nice Zoom party where we will be showcasing a sample of the show. You'll hear from the guests, and we'll talk more about what the show is all about. But basically, the mission of the show is to provide entertainment, education, and also just to give you knowledge about what is out there, what is available. So for example, if there is a business out there that may be into hair restoration or hair health care, or excuse me, hair health, then those would be the type of businesses that we would like to feature on the show, so that the audience can get to know who they are, what they do, and also, if they want to use their services or learn more, they can contact those businesses. But the other part, as far as the panel is concerned, it's really just to let women who are experiencing hair loss know that you're not alone. There are other people who have gone through this. We have felt the same way you felt in our journeys. Just really to help uplift other women, let them know that there's another side of this. Not to say that you have to cut your hair off and be bald, because that's not what we're promoting. It's just that that's just what we decided to do. But whatever your decision is, we want you to know that you're still beautiful. There are options you have out there, and you may not even know about these options. So I want to make sure that that education part is out there, because there's so much information that people just don't know. And then the other part of just support and encouragement, and just knowing that you are not alone. Okay. We are here to support you, listen to our stories. And I'm sure you'll probably have some laughs, because we definitely have some laughs. We had some cries. We had some serious moments. It was all of the things on the show. So it was a joy to be able to create and host the show.
Absolutely. So, through this journey, everything that we tend to start diving in, we have a challenge and we learn something about ourselves. So during this process of creating the show and producing it, what do you feel was your most challenging, and what do you feel that you learned about yourself during this process?
I would say the most challenging part, because I had never done a TV show, right? This is my first one. So the most challenging part was just like really getting down to the nitty gritty details. I mean, I have a vision and I know what I want to see. But when someone starts asking, okay, so what you want the set to look like? All right, what do you want on the set? Do you want couches? What colors? And like all those little bitty details, I was like, oh my gosh. But I had to make those decisions because it was my show. So I had to decide exactly what the set looked like, what the backdrop looks like, what the theme of the show was going to be, how we were going to organize everything, the questions, like every little detail of the show is what I had to come up with. But I think that was probably the most challenging part, because my brain is just like, I see it, I just want it to happen. I want somebody just to make it happen. And I know that's many of us, right? We're just like, I just want somebody to make it happen. This is what I But yeah, getting down to those nitty gritty details. Yeah, they had to, the other people who were assisting me as far as like trying to pull the details out of me, they had to really work. But once I started clicking, and then and then I was like, okay, it's flowing, and it just started coming out. This is what I want. I want it to be an outdoor theme, similar to like what we see on Oprah Winfrey's show, Super Soul Sunday, where she's sitting outside. Like I wanted that type of theme, because I had an image or just a vision of women, girlfriends sitting down and just talking, having some lemonade, having some wine. You know how you sit down and just relax with with your friends, kick back and just have real conversations. Because a lot of times I feel like that's what's missing out there. We get all this reality TV and drama and this and that, but the real conversations where we like, look, this made me cry, this person said this to me, this hurt my feelings, this brought me joy, this person supported me. Like, those are the stories and things that people need to hear.
Absolutely. So if you had to say during this process, who inspired you and why?
Who inspired me? You know what? Okay, I'm gonna have to say two people. Two people. One is Miss Zandra Evans. That is the owner of the Zandra TV network, where the show is actually going to be on. So she's the owner of the network. She was with me every step of the way. And those times when I felt like, I don't know if I want to do this, or, I just want to get this over with, I'm tired, she was always there to say, nope, it's okay. We can work this out. Or if I thought it was an issue, she was like, no, we can fix that. I'm the one who makes the decision. So what you want to do? Like, she was there step by step, supporting me, encouraging me. So I have to give her a shout out. That's just the first one, right? The other one is, I'm going to say, one of my guests, Samantha Trailer. She is another person who I could talk to, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And she was always encouraging me, always letting me know, like, I got your back. I'm doing this to support you. This is going to be awesome. God ordained this for you. Like, she was there all the way. So I got to shout out those two people.
Absolutely. And you got to have those people that support you through that walk and through this journey, because it be days you want to throw in the towel and it's like, wait a minute. You need somebody to pick you up, like, nope, you can't do this. So I commend them for pulling you and keeping you there and getting you through this.
Yes, they definitely were my support.
So for someone that's out there just thinking about going into the, TV production, TV network, what advice would you have for them?
Well, I would say take your time and learn the background, learn the process. Because, when we first think about TV, we think about the old school TV. We think about the analog TV that, used to go off at a certain time, and, people don't watch TV anymore. But this is streaming TV. Everybody's watching Hulu. Everybody's watching Netflix. You're watching some streaming app, and this is the same thing. So basically, it's another way to put yourself out there, to bring visibility to yourself, your brand, whatever it is you are doing. It's another set of eyes. And not only is it going to be nationwide in the United States, this is global. And that was one of the things that I wanted. I am trying to make sure that my brand is global, because there are women all over the world experiencing some form of hair loss. So to be able to put myself out there on a global platform, and I own the rights of everything, like, the show is mine. If anything, like another major network wanted to pick up my show, guess who gets all of that money? Me, right? I don't have to share anything with the network. I don't have to split anything, no ads, and it's all me. So that is the one benefit that I really, really like. And the other part is I can have commercials. So having other businesses and things that are related to hair loss, they can have commercials that are connected to my show, and that brings them more visibility as well. So, I mean, it's definitely a great thing to be able to be on TV. I never thought I could. And then many people, many people don't think, they think that you have to have an agent and you got to have this and that. And that's not necessarily the truth. So just being able to put yourself out there is just a wonderful thing to a global audience, and get all of that attention and visibility is a wonderful thing.
Absolutely. So let's do a little backstory for the people that might not have seen my very first segment with you.
Yes.
Can you kind of tell them, how did you end up getting into being a coach on hair loss, and, just a little of your backstory of who you are?
Yeah. Okay. So really, as you can see, I'm bald because I have hair loss. I have alopecia, specifically scarring alopecia. And there are several different forms of scalp scarring alopecia, but the one that predominantly affects African Americans is called CCCA. That's the acronym. I'm not going to say the whole term because I am going to mess it up, but it is CCCA. And I have been basically losing my hair since, well, at least I recognized I was losing my hair since my late 20s, early 30s. I'm sure it was happening before then, but I just didn't notice it. My hair was in locks. So, I'm just getting it retwisted and, I'm keeping it moving. It wasn't until some time later where I went to the doctor because I was in denial, thinking, oh, I could fix this. This is just, something minor. I could use a certain oil, or I could do this or do that and get my hair to grow back. But when I actually went to a dermatologist and he told me I have scarring alopecia, I was just like, okay. And then he was like, there's nothing much you could do about it. And he didn't offer any solutions, any support, any of that. So I was just like, okay, I guess this is what I got to deal with for the rest of my life. So I continued down this path, and I was feeling super insecure, wearing the wigs, the weaves, trying to cover up my thin and balding spots, until I got to the point to where I got tired of doing that. I was like, I'm done. I'm ready to be myself authentically. When you're dating, you don't want to always have to hide who you really are. It's one thing if you're wearing a wig and you have hair under the wig and you still have a full head of hair. It's not that big of a deal. The wig is just your style. But it's another situation where if you're dating someone and you are missing hair and you want to take your wig off, like that doesn't fly. Unless you have a really supportive man that you have sat down and you have to have that conversation. But who wants to always have to have that conversation with everybody you're dating or getting to know? You don't even know how far it's going to go. So I was just like, you know what? I am tired. I'm ready to be me. I'm ready to just present myself as who I am and be confident with that. And so I started working on myself. I started building myself up and went from that insecure person to that very confident person who said, you know what? I don't care. This is what it is. And this is what I'm going to do. Now, one thing to help support me as far as my confidence was concerned, when I shaved my head, I didn't just want a slick bald head. So I decided to get micropigmentation. And that's why you see like this darkness around my scalp, because that is all micropigmentation. It gives you the illusion like you have a bald fade. And I was and still am very, very comfortable with that. So that's the route I chose to go. And I continue to wear my hair like that I still am, as you can see, but I continue to wear the bald head. I haven't really worn a wig too often. And that was, I believe, 2018 when I decided to just shave it off and get the micropigmentation. Now, there was a voice inside of me for a while telling me, you need to talk about hair loss. You need to talk about the hair loss in women. I kept on saying, nope, I am not putting my business out there. I am not doing that. But finally, I got to the point to where it was time for me to pivot in my business and what I was doing. And I was really just walking down the beach one day. I was in Costa Rica on a retreat, and God started talking to me. And I was like, okay, I'm listening. And, God was like, you start talking about hair loss in women. So from that point, I said, okay, I don't know where this is going to take me. I don't know how I'm going to do this, but I had my skills. So I was like, okay, I'll just start talking about it on social media. And that's what I started doing. And it kind of went from there. And that's what led me to where we are now.
Absolutely. And don't you have a clothing line as well?
I do. So on my website, I have the Bougie Baldie apparel. So I have sweatshirts, I have t-shirts, I have hats. And these are just like, whether they're images of bald women that are confident and have little sayings on them, or just positive sayings on the shirts, those are available because I just want to make sure people are uplifted. I want to make sure that any woman who is bald or experiencing hair loss feels good about themselves. And when they put on that shirt, it's like, you have to feel good about yourself, but you put on this shirt because you're telling everybody, I'm good. I'm beautiful. I'm bald, bold, and beautiful. There you go. Now deal with it.
Absolutely. Listen, I see the shirts. I'm telling y'all, hashtag go get the shirt. Hashtag watch the premiere. Listen, I'm telling you, she is everything. And if y'all ain't following her, please go follow her, because y'all will very well get inspired, because I'm inspired every day through her.
Thank you.
So tell me, how could someone become a guest on your show or even work with you?
Yeah. Okay. So basically, we have two different ways. We are looking for sponsors for the show. We have several different sponsorship packages. And with those packages, you can potentially have your own episode, a 1-hour episode to feature your business, be interviewed and put yourself out there, or you could have a 30-minute episode. And then we have smaller packages where you could just be a sponsor for that particular episode. We also have ways to get you on a shopping network, a 24-hour shopping network. So if you have products or services or books or whatever, and you want that on the 24-hour shopping network, some of that is connected. So you have to go to my website and you can check out all of the different packages. And if you're interested, you can book a call with me directly through the website. Now, another way to work with me, if you are interested either in having your own show or being a part of my show, definitely go to the website, book a call with me and talk about it. We can work together, because now that I am a TV producer and I've had that experience of coaching my guests to be on the show, now I can coach other people to have their own shows, have their own episodes, or to be on my show. So all of that, I can cover the press releases, the commercials, all of the things to get you out there. If you are ready to be visible, I'm here for you. Now, if you are a woman experiencing hair loss and you need some support with that, and you need someone to help you with your journey, maybe you don't know what to do. Maybe you haven't even gone to get a diagnosis yet because you are like me, in denial, thinking you could figure it out. I am that person who is going to sit down with you and walk you through, okay, what do we need to do? All right. If you haven't gotten a diagnosis, that's the first step. So once you get that diagnosis, what is your treatment plan? What options do you want to take? So I'm going to sit and walk with you that whole way through until you make that decision on how you want to move forward and be confident and feel good about yourself and live a fulfilled and happy life. Now you can also you can also book that through my website too. Just book a call. That's all we got to do. Is that simple?
Y'all heard it, right? Just book a call. It's simple. She can guide you through any avenue you're looking for. So make sure y'all don't miss it. Book the call.
Yep.
Book the call. So to someone out there, what inspiring words would you like to leave to them before we end the show?
Well, now what type of person are we talking to? Are we talking to a woman with hair loss? Or
we might be talking to both. It might could be somebody that's going through hair loss, could be going through hair loss and dealing with depression, because they all kind of run neck and neck. So it's just,
yes.
So
if you are a woman who's experiencing hair loss and you are struggling, my advice to you is to get support. It does not have to be me. There are different support groups out there. There are different Facebook groups out there that have other women in the groups that are chatting and talking. There are plenty out there. If you want more of a formal support group with one of the nonprofit organizations, NAF, which is an organization, but really they support people with alopecia areata, but if you have any type of hair loss, you can still attend their support groups. And then also the Scarring Alopecia Foundation, I actually lead the CCCA support group once a month. So go out there, get you some support. If you don't want to get the support group, then get you a good friend. Talk to somebody about what you are experiencing. Now, I can't say that they're always going to be able to relate to you if they're not going through the same thing, which is why I said go to the support groups or the Facebook groups. But that is a person who will be a listening ear, who will be there for you when you may have those days where you're like, I can't figure out my hair. I can't figure out what to do and I got to go to work, or I'm just not feeling good about myself. Or I just don't want to go outside because I don't feel like people looking at me, or any of those things. That could be that person. So my advice would just to make sure you get some type of support. And then also make sure you go to a doctor or a professional, a trichologist, somebody who specializes in scalp health. If you are experiencing hair loss, go as soon as possible. I know we may think, I could use this castor oil or this olive oil or whatever, and my hair grow back or whatnot. When you see a little bitty spot that may be getting thin, but when you see that little spot getting thin or that little bald spot that just came out the blue and you hadn't noticed it, you need to immediately go see a professional and find out what is going on, because it could be something as small as you're stressed, or it's a hormonal imbalance. You may be going through menopause. You may be postpartum, and that's making your hair come out. Like, those are things that can be corrected. Your nutrition, these are things that could be corrected and get your hair growing back. Or it could be more severe, like some sort of permanent hair loss, like a scarring alopecia, or, alopecia areata, which still has some results as far as getting hair to regrow back if you're taking medication, but you won't know that until you go see what's going on with yourself. So those would be the two key pieces of advice that I would have for any woman who's experiencing any form of hair loss.
Absolutely. So before we end the show, tell them again the premiere date, how do they watch, and how to contact you.
Yes. All right. So the premiere is December 3rd. And there is a link that did I share that with you? I don't know if I shared it.
But we're going to drop it in this video afterwards. And then everybody that watched the replay and that may be watching now can go back through and find the link.
Okay, so there's a link to register. So basically, you just go ahead, click on December 3rd, put your information in, and it will send you the Zoom links and all the information and reminders about the premiere. Remember, it is virtual. So all you got to do is sit down, get your phone, get your tablet, get your computer, and enjoy the premiere. Now, just remember that the show is on the Zandra TV network. So if you have Apple, if you have a Roku, or you have Fire TV, you can download Zandra TV app, and that's how you will be able to access the show. But for the premiere, all you got to do is register, show up on the Zoom, and you'll get a taste of what the Bougie Baldie Show is all about.
I'm excited, guys. I hope y'all getting excited because I'm ready. So make sure y'all get y'all Apple, and y'all make sure y'all go register to download, but then also prepare to watch the rest of the season.
Yes,
so
definitely.
Let's get ready.
Definitely.
So thank you, Ms. Kels, for dropping by. As always, our doors are always open. We're always welcome and ready for you to come and sit down and chat with us about the things that are going on. We are excited, and we will be ready and getting to register so we can sit down December 3rd and watch the premiere. We ready.
Yes. And thank you for having me on once again. And I look forward to seeing everybody at the premiere.
Absolutely. All right, guys, we have been here again with another awesome guest, dropping some jewels, telling us some things. And today we talked about her premiere, December 3rd. Go register. We're going to drop the link in. Y'all are going to register, and I want to see all y'all there because I'm going to be there and I'm going to be looking for you. As always, this has been your girl, Sheena Goodine, better known as the lady behind the mask. You have been on The Power in Your Voice. We are always here to educate, motivate, and inspire. Catch you guys later.